How those chips, quote unquote.
Chips, quote unquote. All you healthy snackers. See the fingers? This is a veggie straw. And you know what veggie straws are?
Yeah.
They're potato chips.
Really?
First ingredient, potato starch. Potato flour, expeller pressed canola oil. And listen. And or safflower oil and or sunflower oil. How do you put an and or in your ingredients?
They aren't even sure how they created
We're not
it themselves.
We're not sure what Jeff put in that batch, but it's one of these three things.
Veggie straws are actually like they're pretty solid, but they're just.
Oh no, they're good, but it's joke. They're just potato chips.
Yeah. I mean, potatoes are a vegetable, so like you can't lie. There's no lying.
Potatoes are vegetables? No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
But how's a potato a vegetable?
Isn't it?
No, it's a starch. Now this is a vegetable.
That makes a heck of a lot more sense.
All the time you thought a potato was a vegetable.
I mean, like, what else would it be?
It's a starch. It's a legume. Grows in the ground. I don't know. I don't know these things. Yeah, it's a hard question, Sean.
I don't look like a gardener. So, like...
So you're not.
How am I supposed to know these things?
That's life. If you don't look like a gardener, you're not a gardener. Are you saying I look like a gardener?
No.
Okay, good, because I'm not.
I feel like... Do you think there's just, like, something about someone that you can tell that they're a gardener?
Yeah, they have an aura. It's like you can tell someone drives a Prius. It's just...
That, and the person is always like, I drive a Prius. I'm being helpful to the safety of the ozone layer.
Yeah, so are gardeners the same? They're like, I have my own garden. I guess. Safety of the ozone layer. That was a pretty good Prius imitation. Prius owner, Prius driver, Prius cowboy? No, cowboy's too cool.
Prius stormtrooper.
Prius stormtrooper? They do look like stormtroopers, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of fit the same. They kind of fit the same mold. The fact that they just suck.
Yeah. I will never not say this. Priuses are the TIE fighters of cars, because Priuses, although they don't make noise, I will say that much. So that doesn't make sense. But in the fact that they're not bad vehicles, they're good, they're fast, they're all that kind of stuff.
But they're just TIE fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Do you say Happy Cinco de Mayo, or it's not Merry Cinco de Mayo, so it's happy, huh?
No, it's Cinco de Mayo feliz.
Yeah, so it's Cinco de Mayo. It's Revenge of the Fifth. So, I thought we'd carry on a little bit of Star Wars in, not too much because we don't want people to get bored, but I just want to dive in a little bit. Is people forget that the Sith were like, you have to remember that Sith and Jedi, like, they came around like when the Force like was just like, yeah, the Force began and they came around, and Sith was like, it was a race of people. The Sith, like, it wasn't like a religion or a cult or
kind of like the Mandalorians.
Yeah, it's a race of people. They became this one with this dark side of the Force. And also people misconstrued, like, people forget that this race of people, they were people too. Like, they had civilization and then they would fall into chaos. They had civilization and they would fall into chaos. I mean, and they didn't just go around just killing everybody. Like, they weren't just like bloodthirsty animals. They just knew how to control and funnel this side of the Force, and eventually it branched off, and the race eventually died, but that that ability to channel that, moved on to other people, and we all know like people in the Jedi Order came in contact with the dark side connection and then moved on. But one of my that was quick history with Professor Hayden. One of my next questions for you, Sean, is people debate, are the Sith and also like the Empire, so in conjunction, the Sith, the Trade Federation, everything that came of them. Am I making sense? Sith, the Trade Federation, the Empire, were they the bad guys?
Trade Federation, I don't think were the bad guys, because you can see that in episode 3 in Revenge of the Sith, it actually there's when Darth Vader goes to Mustafar to kill all the separatist leaders, Newt Gunray, who is like the leader of the Trade Federation, is like, we just wanted peace. Right. So it wasn't. I would not call them the bad guys. I think they would also fall into the category of victims, because they sided with the wrong side. They sided with the wrong people. But I would consider like Empire, absolutely bad guys. I think so. Same with First Order, bad guys, obviously. Because they are more closely intertwined with like the fact that it's ran by the Sith. Like, obviously there's a bit of a difference with the Separatists. That's because that was more political, and eventually it turned into a big problem, which ended up becoming the Clone Wars. But yeah, everything but the Trade Federation I would consider like bad guy.
Right.
Billie Eilish.
But doom 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 doom. That's the end of the podcast. That's like the outro music. Okay, side. That song slaps.
It does.
I like that song.
It's really weird, but it's really good.
Well, it's really weird. Have you heard any of Billie Eilish's other stuff? Billie Eilish's? Yeah, Billie Eilish's. Not her eyelashes, but Billie Eilish's.
I have, actually. She's really good. She's very talented, and she's also like super weird, which it's respect. Honestly, like I can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, for me that's the thing is she's really weird. She's got her own ways, and I can't really say too much because I don't know her personally. Props to her for standing out. She's phenomenally talented. I wish that she would branch out, because she's got this in her genre. This, I don't even know how to describe it. Would you call it like an emo music? Like,
you're talking about like her kind of like whispery voice. It's like very like
just all her music has this kind of the kind of like emo-y vibe.
Yeah,
I don't want to say depressed.
No, yeah.
But it has and I wish she would branch. I wish she would spread and branch out, because I've heard her sing like not covers, but with someone. Like, she was on with Alicia Keys on a show like Jimmy Kimmel or something, Jimmy Fallon. Anyway, Alicia Keys is great, and then Billie Eilish starts singing, and it's just like, what? Like, what just happened? Her voice is just phenomenal, so I want her to branch out and do maybe more like poppy, not like pure pop, but like just different songs. I mean, she does some stuff with Khalid that's really good. But yeah, I was surprised because I was like, okay, I'm gonna just start listening and just see because I thought it was weird. I was like, nah, I don't want to listen to that kind of music. And I moved in, and Bad Guy is one of my top favorites, but she's got some other good ones that you just kind of bop when you're feeling it.
I remember I've watched a few interviews of her and her brother Phineas, who is also very, very talented.
Yeah, he does
artist.
All the producing, right?
He's her
like
producer.
The background kid. Yeah.
But he also makes music for himself, and he's very, very, very talented as well. But Phineas is very protective of Billie, and Billie has like a certain sound and certain vibe that she wants in like all of her music. So that's kind of like where that comes from. So I don't know if she will branch out. I think it would be awesome if she did.
I
Maybe
hope
if
she
she did,
does.
I think it would be really cool to see like a mix between like old vocal pop, like in like Frank Sinatra or
Uh-huh.
Jimmy Stewart or people like that, where it's like, maybe something like My Way mixed with like some Billie Eilish vibes.
Kind of her style,
Yeah,
yeah.
but like including more belting. You know what I mean? Like, ah, I think that would be really cool.
He said belting. Ah. No, her song that she did for the new 007 movie, No Time to Die.
Mm,
Give it a listen. If you haven't heard it, Sean, give it a listen. Audience, give it a listen. It's she her voice was made for that song. I mean, it's made for other things.
yeah,
But like you start listening and you're like, this is a James Bond singing voice. Like it
it
was made
fits.
for this
It
song. Yeah.
fits.
I can't wait for that movie to come out because I really like all the Bond movies.
Mm.
And it's still Daniel Craig, isn't it?
I think this is the last one.
I think well, he's getting older.
Yeah.
But I thought Daniel Craig, he broke the mold of James Bond a little bit,
Mm.
but he's a great James Bond.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Sith yesterday.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it's always a question because people argue all over the internet. People's big claim is the Galactic Empire. Kind of putting Sidious aside, the way he was trying to. They said that what if the movie is kind of misportraying everything because it's from the view of all the Rebel Alliance.
Mm.
He goes, the Galactic Empire was trying to unify the galaxy. And that was I'm voicing what they're saying, and they're like, that's obviously misconstrued by the way that the movie is filmed. Like if it was real life, it's portrayed from the Rebel Alliance view, and they are seeing this force just try and take over the galaxy. But they're like, no, they're really trying to just branch out and do what lots of the previous Palpatine and Separatists couldn't do is. And that's what the Senate didn't do is envelop everything for the longest time, protected all its planets, and it was this big conglomerate. But there were all those it's everything in the outer rim and the unknown. They just ignored, and that's kind of what their point is they're saying that they wanted to be something that the Senate wanted to be more than what the Senate and the Galactic Republic was. They wanted to envelop everybody and create peace or whatever. I don't know, really have an opinion on it. I just think it's interesting that they go both ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll definitely find like devil's advocates for that kind of stuff. And it's, I mean, like, I'm down for like conversation about stuff like that. I'm never opposed to like opposing views. I just want to hear where they're coming from. I want to hear a logistic way to think about it from a different point of view.
For me, it's just hard because they talk about it as like real life. Like they're like, well, the movie is filmed in the view of the Rebel Alliance, and I'm like, well, yeah, because it's a movie. Like there could be like this behind the scenes idea that they're perceiving it differently, and the Empire just wants to make the world peaceful. I don't know. It's just kind of it branches off into like people who actually like think about this and like
too hard.
Like, yeah, they sweat about it, and they're like, this is like it takes over their actual lives. Dude, what if Star Wars was real, man? What if we could drive around in spaceships and?
I don't know how. I would.
Dude, speeder bikes.
That'd be crazy. That'd be awesome.
And just zip to someone's house. I mean, I could be here to your house in like 5 minutes.
Oh, that would be crazy.
Like I said, I don't want to go too far with Star Wars stuff today.
Because we went
but
hard with it yesterday.
We did really hard. Who's your favorite Sith?
Ooh. See, that's a really hard question because Darth Vader obviously is classic. Love him. He's great. Darth Maul is also super sick. And he gets like the all-star treatment in Clone Wars and all that kind of stuff. He does super awesome stuff. And then, but like the ones that we haven't really seen, the ones from like old Republic, I'm talking about like Darth Revan or Darth Bane
Darth Malik.
Darth Malik, yes.
Yeah.
It'd be super awesome to see those. Like,
I
just
think they
from
need to
just
do
from
an
what
Old
I
Republic movie.
know about like Darth Revan and Darth Bane and all of them, I'm just like, that is so cool. And also, I really want to see, like, I think the next Star Wars trilogy that they do, if they do another one, will be like old Republic, like Knights of the Old Republic style.
I think they should.
And I think that would be awesome. That would be really cool. And I really want them to focus on Darth Revan. That should be the main character because he starts out as a Jedi, but then he turns into a Sith. So that would be really cool to see. So I think Darth Revan's
Yeah,
my
I think
favorite.
that would be pretty. If you do it right, I mean, it's like the clone movie that we were talking about. If you're gonna do a clone movie, you gotta do a clone movie.
I want to.
So this one, if you're gonna do it, you want the love. Yeah, that's a tough one. Just thought I'd bring it up.
What about you? What's your favorite?
It's hard
It is.
because I'm a fan of Darth Vader. He's up there, but I'm also a fan of Darth Maul, and even more so when the Clone Wars. Branched off on it. I mean, for the longest time, he was cut in half and dead.
Yeah, but
And then
even then, like he was so cool. Like in episode 1, everyone was like, "Holy frick!" He was the first guy to have a double-sided
bladed lightsaber. He's got the tribal, tattoos of his people and the horns.
It's crazy.
And then when you go into the Clone Wars and the episode where Savage is looking for him, and first you're like, what do you mean? Like, this guy is dead. Anyway, yeah, goes to the junk world and finds this
like
monster
disgusting
in pieces.
monster.
Yeah. And then he just becomes... He really formed a character because Darth Maul... I don't think he had any dialogue.
He had, like, very, very little.
He had, like, smiles and yes. And that was it.
Alas, will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. That was it.
Clone Wars filled that in and showed what an intellectual, just savage he was.
Yeah, Sam.
And just
what's his name? Sam Whitmer.
Raw power.
Sam Whitmer or something like that. He voices Darth Maul.
I think he does, and it's just iconic
good.
voicing.
Super good.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I had my sister come in, and she goes, "Put this on your podcast." I was like, "What?" And she gave me this piece of art.
Oh.
And it says it represents how she feels.
Please be a dead body.
And I don't even know when she did it, where it came from. My sister is 16, by the way, and she's just a dork. And so I thought I would just feature it a little bit. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how Abby feels.
Very nice.
If anybody knows
what emotion that is,
comment. Hit us up in the comment section. Yeah, I don't know. That was weird.
Man, my sister made this one painting. It's very nice.
Oh,
she
dude,
gave it to
I've
me.
seen them on Instagram.
No,
Which one did she give you?
Okay, so she gave me this one. I don't know if she put it on Instagram, but like it's my favorite.
That's awesome.
It's the Froggy Bruto.
Froggy Bruto. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I've seen lots of her work, trees and nature and waves and stuff.
Yeah.
She's
much
Instagram.
better at painting than I am.
You know what? Call my girlfriend.
All right.
Actually, you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna call her. The phone's gonna ring, and she's gonna lose it before she answers the phone.
Why?
Because I talked to her this morning, and I was FaceTiming her, not FaceTiming, but I was video calling her. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, so I gotta, I explained I gotta go. Sean and I are setting up again. And she's like, okay. So she knows if you call her, she knows exactly what's happening.
What's up, Sean?
What's up? How's it going?
It's going good.
Hey, do you know why I'm calling?
She's so neutral.
For a topic,
Yeah.
I've given Hayden like 5.
Well, give me one.
Okay, Can I give you the same one that I've given him?
Yeah, go
I
ahead
don't.
and
I
talk
don't
about
care.
it.
Just give me something.
Just don't say lighthouses.
Oh my god.
Just whatever you say. Please, for the love of all that is holy, do not say lighthouses.
Don't say lighthouses.
Lighthouses.
No.
Do you want me to say like boats instead?
Boats. We. I,
We can talk about boats.
that's fine.
Let's talk about
No,
boats.
hold on. Animals.
Animals.
Okay, boats and animals. We'll work with that.
All right. Thanks.
Love you, babe. She can't hear me,
Do you want
but
to expound on it, or are you good?
No, that's perfect.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
All right. See ya. Good
Love
to
you.
talk to you. Bye.
What'd you say? Boats?
Yeah, she said boats first and then animals.
Sean's already bored of boats and animals. He's yawning. Boats. I mean, what do you think about boats?
Boats are nice. I like boats. Going boating. Oh, going
Right?
boating is great. Okay? We have to tell the story about when we went boating at Camp Hillman with Arian. How
Oh, that was nuts.
that was crazy. Okay, I'll start. I'll start.
You go.
Okay.
Go.
So this
That
is
was crazy.
last year. Last year we had our young men's camp, which is like basically just all of us getting together and going to a campsite. It's basically like scout camp. And one of the days we went, it was 4th of July, and we went boating. And we were on Hayden's dad's boat. And there were about 6 or 7 of us on the boat, and we were tubing. We had 2 tubes going.
Which is the only way to boat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a boater, but maybe it's because I can't wakeboard, but like wakeboarding skiing, who needs it if you got a freaking tube,
Yeah,
dude?
it's so fun. And then so we had 2 tubes, and it was essentially like battle tubes. So one of the tubes, only one person could be on one, and then the other one, 2 people could be on it. And so we were taking turns doing like
Yeah, and we
like
had them
little
both. Yeah, had them
battles.
both connected to the boat. That's
Yeah.
why it's like battle tubing.
Yeah. And we were taking turns like battling each other, and it was super fun. Oh my gosh, it was a blast. And I get on the two-man tube with our homie Malachi, and Malachi is a beast. Let me just describe him. He is the short king. Like that is because he is built like a monster.
He's big, dude.
He's a big guy, big strong dude, and I'm tall and skinny, so it was a good compromise. And then on the other tube, we had our friend Arian, and I've had
The
him
man, the myth,
on a
the
couple.
legend.
Yeah, I've had him on a couple videos. He's a small guy. He's a swimmer, and
He's the super tan kid.
yeah, we would mess with him. We mess with him all the time. For the longest time, he was known as freshman, and at the time, I think he was going into sophomore year. Yeah, he was going into sophomore
Yeah.
year,
But he was just a little twerp.
and and so we were messing with them, and we get to the battle tubes. And so Arian is on the other tube.
tube.
Malachi and I are on the other one, the 2-man. And we start going. And Malachi has the great idea of like trying to knock the other person off of the tube.
He's ruthless.
And-
It's not the idea that he had to knock, it's the way he did it.
Yeah. It was insane the way that he did it.
He got up on the tube, pardon my white legs. He got up on the tube and like sideways, facing Arian's tube is over there, and he takes both legs and goes wham!
He starts
wham!
kicking
and
it.
pushing his tube into the water to try and flip his tube and just destroy Arian.
And meanwhile, I'm on the other side of the tube or the side farthest away from Arian, and I'm just hanging on for dear life, trying to make sure we don't flip.
Because Malachi is making your tube go.
Yeah, it's just like
wham, wham.
he's holding on with just his arms, and he's like lifting up. He's super buff. He's just kicking the crap out of Arian's tube.
Lifting up.
At one, he'd been doing this for like a couple minutes, and at one point he kicks Arian's tube, and Arian's tube flips
And it works.
over.
It works. Exactly.
It flips over
Flips
and
over
like
towards yours.
yeah, it flips over on top of our tube, And at that point, I'm like, oh, dang it, Arian fell off. We
And
gotta stop the boat.
all of us in the boat looking back are like, oh, Arian just wiped it. He just got destroyed, and we're like, woo! And Dad was even slowing down. Because Dad was driving. He was
Yeah.
even slowing down. And then
the tube flies off of our tube, which, because it was on top, it flies off of our tube, and I look up, and I see Arian just standing there on
holding
top
on
of
for
Malachi
dear
and I.
life.
It was
He flipped
amazing.
over, grabbed Sean and the tube, and was just like, what just happened?
I'm like, oh, Arian fell, and then the tube moves. I just see Arian there, just. And then I look up
That
at the
was
boat. I look up
legendary.
at the boat at you guys, and you guys are going, whoa!
It was legendary. I mean, we had to turn around and pick him up,
Oh
but
my gosh, it was amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, so we had to stop, but then we got off, and we were just like, holy frick, that was crazy.
you couldn't top it. I mean, nothing that...
And
Was that the same trip that I busted my eardrum
no,
open?
that was the year before, but this was a different year. This was the year after.
Yeah, the year before. And who... Did you get, like, elbowed in the eye socket or something?
I don't think that was me. It was awesome.
But anyway, we fly off, and we all pile... It was you, me,
Scotty.
and Scotty. It was Scotty. And we all just bloom. And Scotty... I think Scotty got my elbow in his eye. In his left eye, and he's like, I can't. We all pop out of the water. He's like, I can't see. He's like, got his eye open. He's like, I can't see. And Sean's like, if you didn't have a life vest on, you would have drowned. You were just like, and just had this splitting. I was like, oh my gosh, like splitting on the side of my head. I thought someone maybe just kneed me or something as we fell together. Anyway. But yeah, it starts to hurt my ear, and eventually I go when we got home from the trip. Trip was still fun. I got home from the trip and went to the doctor, and he was like, yeah, you got a hole in your eardrum. And I was like, excuse me?
Oh.
Excuse me? And he was like, yeah, it's rough. You have a hole in your eardrum, and because I told him the story, because he hit the water, he goes, I can see it. Your eardrum is filling with water. And I was like, okay, so what, like, I just had no idea, like, the severity of anything. I was like, okay, so, like, what happens? Like, what do I do? And he's like, he goes, lay on that side as much as you can. He gave me the procedure, and you put this in your ear, and it helps drain it out. And I was like, that's wild. But the human body is amazing, because a while later... it sealed back up. I went back, and he was like, there's no hole. It's all good. You have no, like, water shiftage, and I had no more headache, and that was wild.
Yeah. That was fun.
But no, but boats are awesome.
Yeah, those boats are great.
Like Sean was saying, we own a boat. I'm hoping we get the chance to use it this summer. It works fine. It's in good condition. But I just don't know with all the shelter-in-place stuff. But you know what? Boats are awesome, and I don't know if Sean will. I don't know. Maybe Sean can pull something up. Like I said, he's got his computer set up. Pull up V8 jet boat. They're long, sleek boats. They only take about 2 people, but they're rear-mounted motors that are just exposed, and it's these built-up motors. I mean, I've seen as big as a 526 V8 on the back of a boat. And they have big old headers, and these things fly like 90 miles an hour on water. And I want, yeah. And there's, And so my goal is to, a boat,
snap. Like this?
I want to make, that's a version of it. That's like a race version. Like I said, there's all sorts of different kinds. But yeah, those are like more not home built, but those are the more of the leisure. More of the leisure boats. I want to build one.
Deal.
Yeah, a car guy. I'm a car guy. If nobody knew in the audience.
Like, literally, like, it looks like
It looks like a muscle car, but a boat.
a muscle car, but a boat.
Yeah, I want to build one. That's the boat I want to own.
This one.
I mean, other boats are great, but that thing, I follow a guy on Instagram. he's famous in his own respect. He's on Motor Trend channel, which if you don't know, it's a channel that focuses on racing, and it has shows where they build cars and all that sorts of stuff. He's on Roadkill and a bunch of different shows. His name's Mike Finnegan. He built a jet boat, but he took it to the next level. It's a 500 something cubic inch, but it has twin turbos. I don't know if you know what that means, but turbos are designed to, we're getting into cars and I hope Sean doesn't fall asleep. Turbos are designed to take air and push it into the engine, which creates more horsepower, because that's what runs the engine is air and fuel ratio. And so a turbo increases the amount of air, and then you can increase the amount of gas, ups the horsepower. So he put 2 turbos on a 500 something cubic inch and put it in the back of a boat like that, a back of a jet boat. That thing goes 0 to 100. 0 to 100, sorry, 0 to 1, 0 to 100 on the water in 4 seconds.
What? Holy!
It's nuts.
What?
It's 4.2 something.
If you're not careful, you could just like fly out the side of the boat.
Well, he's got safety precautions. 5-point harness. He wears a helmet. He wears a life vest. He's connected, so it'll shut off the boat when he flies out. He hasn't had any problems yet, but for a while he couldn't get it open throttle. He was still tuning, but at about 90% throttle, he could go 0 to 100 in around 4 seconds.
That's insane.
And I mean, Mike, forgive me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember. And I remember watching him just fly across the lake, and I was like, that's wild.
He's like, how dare you? It's
crazy.
actually 2 seconds. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still working with it. He's doing some stuff with it. But that's nuts. That's insane. But I want to build one of those because that's the kind of boat I want. Maybe not a twin turbo 0 to 100 4-second boat, but definitely something fun.
Something fast.
Yeah. What else was animals? She said animals.
Aminals.
Aminals and an aminals. I mean, where do we go with that? Animals is such a broad spectrum to work with.
I mean, it's better than lighthouses.
Yeah. Shout out to my girlfriend. Better than lighthouses.
Shout out to Peter.
Shout out to Peter who said lighthouses for some reason.
Yeah, I'm always.
Animals. What's your favorite animal? I know it's tough because it's gonna be tough for me once we get to mine. Frosty Pruto. My favorite animal is the Frosty Pruto.
Ah, my favorite. I think my favorite is a monkey.
A monkey.
Monkey.
So just like
My favorite type of monkey is an orangutan.
Okay, well first, Sean, this is a lesson with Professor Hayden. A chimpanzee is not a monkey.
I said orangutan.
It's not a monkey. It's an ape. Orangutan, chimpanzee, gorilla. But it's okay. I got your point. Just kind of like the broad spectrum.
I like monkeys.
Monkeys are cool. What do you call them? It's not marsupials. That's not the right word. But yeah, the monkey ape family. Yeah, I agree with you. They're crazy. I do not believe that we came from monkeys, but they're dummy smart, dude.
They're so awesome too. I really want to
cool.
go to a zoo and just like hang out with an ape. Because like
I haven't been to the zoo in a long time. I love the zoo.
Yeah, zoos are nice.
Caitlin loves the zoo too. I mean, she's an animal person. That's probably why she said animals. She just loves. I love the zoo, but she takes it to another level. Like, I'll be done with the zoo, and she's like, "What? We're still walking around. Like, let's go." And it's crazy. Have you seen chimpanzees and orangutans? I can't remember specifically which one I saw. I saw one of them. I think it was a chimpanzee. Super smart. They do stuff like put sunglasses on and like look at themselves in the mirror, and they like, they
Super
interact
funny.
with humans. But I saw him flip a tire inside out. I mean, like, we were talking about, what's his name, Bjornsson yesterday?
Yep, I actually watched
Right?
the video. It's crazy. He is Wow.
I saw him next. Yeah, I looked up images of him next to people, next to his girlfriend or whatever. He's literally. We're getting off track. He's ginormous, but I don't think he could even do that. I mean, this chimpanzee just kind of took this tire, and I'm not saying he just went up to it and just went ploop and flipped it inside out, but he sits there and he's got like his leg in his hands and he's like whoop, 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 and he turns the rubber tire inside out, and I was like, so Planet of the Apes, don't mess with this guy because he's a monster. Yeah, no, they're crazy. I don't know if they're considered apes or monkeys, or maybe they're considered their own thing. One of my favorite animals is baboons.
Like Rafiki.
And yeah, baboons, and they're separated. I learned this lesson a while ago from someone, but mandrills are not technically not baboons, but they're like the distinctive baboons with the pink faces and the pink butts. Those things are ridiculous. I just love the way they look and how just vicious they are. I mean, they're a monkey and they open their mouth and it's like, shing, and you're like, oh,
I'm gonna run
hello.
away now.
Yeah. Well, I saw a video of a lion like going into baboon territory, like in the Sahara is not the word.
Savannah?
In the savannah, somewhere in Africa. I can't remember the desert. Anyway, they go into this baboon's. He goes into this baboon's like territory, and the baboons start to follow him in the trees. And then eventually they like come down. A couple of them start like getting rough with him, like back off, and then it's a full-on fight. He fights a couple of baboons, and then as soon as like that conflict happened, and the lion then backs up a little bit, all the baboons just rush him, and you're like, oh my gosh. And this lion just booked it. He's like, shoot. He's like, this is nuts. Yeah, and they're crazy because they do the pack hunting and pack defending, and
holy
they're just homies, man. Don't mess with the homies in the trees.
Don't go into the baboon neighborhood.
In the baboon hood. They'll mess you up. No, I wouldn't want to fight a baboon.
That'd be terrifying.
I also love rhinos.
Rhinos are cool.
They just, for me, rhinos are a little bit more symbolic, because they're just they're not really aggressive like naturally.
But they could destroy you.
But they could destroy you if you bother them, and I feel like.
Speak softly, carry a big stick.
Yeah, there you go, Theodore Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say that like I'm a monster and I could kill someone like Bjornsson or whatever, but I feel like that kind of reflects myself. I'm fun. I'm just I like to just mess around, but you mess with like my family, you mess with serious stuff.
You mess with the clones?
I'm not gonna. Yeah, you mess with the clones. I won't stand for it. And we're gonna have an issue. But they just have thick skin. They're just very level-headed, and they could wreck you. I mean, have you seen videos of them crashing into Jeeps and stuff? You're like, that is manufactured 1030 steel, and they just bent it like a banana. That shows nature, man. I back to cars. I love cars. I love the fact that we invented cars and that we created a culture, and it's super fun. I love to be involved in it, and the fact that we can manufacture these things, these parts, as humans, we've gained these skills, but it just shows the power of nature. Like I said, I mean, this is reinforced steel Hummer framing, and this rhino is just like, excuse me, boom, and just bends it, and you're like, it just makes you, from a standpoint, someone who's handled material like that and steel and what you have to go through to bend it and change it and heat it, and this rhino just doesn't give a rap.
Nature's like, nah,
and just blows it up.
Just like, nah. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, I also like dogs. I want a dog.
I mean, like, dogs are just great. You can't go wrong with a dog.
Yeah, you really can't.
Yeah.
Dogs are great.
Man's best friend.
Dogs are great. I love dog videos.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, same with cat videos. Cat videos are hilarious. Like watching them
Oh my gosh.
absolutely flip out. It's hilarious.
I saw a cat video of a dude taking a stuffed animal and he moves it towards his cat, sitting on like the short wall in the house, and the cat makes this noise. I'm gonna try and imitate it. And he goes, wham, and then like whacks the stuffed animal and simultaneously springs itself off the wall, like flips onto the counter or something. It's just the funniest thing. The noise I rewatched like 3 times. Bam. What chips?
Revenge of the Chips.
Chips. What is the best? First, what is the best kind of chip? So you have like corn chips, potato chips,
tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips. Tortilla chips are corn chips, technically, I think. I mean, you can make that argument. So what is the best? So what is the best kind of chip, Sean? Please, pray tell. It's not necessarily like what's your favorite kind of chip. It kind of is,
Yeah,
but what's the
it
best
is.
chip?
I don't.
No, you're right. It is. What's your favorite kind of chip?
I don't know. There's something about the easiness of potato chips. Like, it's just like Lay's, just general Lay's are great. But then there's so much you can do with them. It's like, that's pretty good.
Right. It's a
That's
viable
real
base.
nice. But I gotta
Yeah.
say, like,
He said that's real nice.
that's real nice.
I do like your chips.
But I gotta say, like, they don't have as much crunch ability as a tortilla chip.
As like a corn chip.
Yeah, you take one of those and it's like a full on like triangle, you know what I mean? Like maybe a Dorito
Load it
or
with guac.
or yeah, a Dorito
And then
or
just-
or like Tostitos or anything like that, and you just go.
Oh yeah, it sounded like you are biting celery. That was phenomenal.
Oh, thanks.
He said. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So
So
I
you
think
love potato chips because they're versatile,
Mm-hmm.
but you love the crunch of a corn chip or like a tortilla chip.
Mm-hmm. So I think I would choose tortilla chip just because like not only can they come in like different flavors and whatnot, but like the dips.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that potato chips can't really do. They can
But it's not
But-
as well.
as well, but you can dip. Yeah, Doritos, Dorito chips, Dorito chips. Tortilla. I'm done. Shut the podcast off.
This is This happened yesterday. You had a stroke yesterday too.
Tortilla
Didn't you?
tortilla chips.
Don't,
There's what?
you had a stroke yesterday, and now you're having
You
one
know
today.
what? I'm getting up there in age. Okay. You're right. They're so dippable. Guac, salsa. I mean, like random things.
Queso.
Spinach dip,
Oh,
queso. Oh, queso. Hot queso.
Oh yeah. Cold queso. What is wrong with you? Why would you ever have
can
cold
we just
queso?
Can we just take a moment of silence to think about warm queso? All right, we're done.
All right.
That was. Oh man, I'm hungry now for queso.
Nachos.
Yeah. Something but potato chip really can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could make nachos with tortilla chips. Yeah, that's tough. Potato chips. Oh, potato chips bring some of the greatest flavors that I have ever known.
Absolutely.
Sour cream and onion,
Barbecue.
barbecue, honey barbecue, spicy I mean, they make stuff like chicken and waffle flavored. I can't really remember eating those,
It's
but
like what? They get
but they do
get
so much with this
super creative.
because the potato chip is such a great base. Apparently,
yeah.
they can just work flavors into it.
What's your favorite? Okay, I have a question. What's your favorite potato chip flavor? Mine is probably the salt and vinegar. I don't know. I just really like salt and vinegar.
Really?
But sour
Hold
cream and
on.
onion-
I did.
sour
Hold
cream and
on
onion's
for a
close
second.
second.
Okay. Whew, that was rough. Sorry. You said salt and vinegar, and I tasted it in my mouth, and I can't. I mean, props to you. I can't do salt and vinegar. I had a friend, one of my best friends, Daniel. Dude, that's his chip, and he just eat them, and you're like,
I think it's
Okay,
just
I'm
'cause,
gonna-
like, I like salt.
right.
I
I'm
crave
gonna ballpark mine, I think, and say barbecue.
barbecue's nice.
I got a shout out to sour cream and onion.
It's classic.
Love that chip. It's great with sandwiches and just, oh gosh, it's amazing. But I would probably ballpark my favorite as barbecue, as in any barbecue. Spicy barbecue, honey barbecue, ooh, honey barbecue, normal barbecue. I mean, they branched out into different things. Spicy barbecue, jalapeno barbecue. I just like a good barbecue flavor on a chip. And it's not necessarily, I think it's interesting because it's not necessarily like tastes like barbecue. I don't really know how they came up with the barbecue flavor,
But it just
but
has
I
become
love it.
such an icon for an actual
But I love
barbecue.
it. Yeah.
It's like
And I'm not even mad that this doesn't taste like barbecue.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's a barbecue chip.
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I was thinking? Doritos, if you're listening, Doritos should do Doritos naked.
Just straight up corn chip.
Yeah. And just see how it
How it
goes.
does.
I mean, see how many people go for it, or because when you think about
Like, what does an actual Dorito chip taste like? Not the flavored.
exactly,
But the chip.
people will be curious. I
Yeah.
mean, granted, you're like, oh, it's a tortilla chip, but what kind of tortilla chip? How does it taste?
How thick
And
is
I think,
it? How crunchy
and I
is
think
it?
it'll have a better. I mean, because depending on the person, but lots of people when they go to like buy chips at like a gas station or something. I mean, you're not looking for a giant bag of tortilla chips because they're usually not in a gas station.
Yeah.
But if you have a small bag done by Doritos naked, or whatever, Doritos stripped, or, I mean, you could get into all sorts of
Doritos Bear.
Doritos bearing it all, but not the flavor, or whatever. Anyway, but just do them, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a bland chip. Because Doritos does like the nacho cheese Dorito, but it has Dorito flavor. You know, it's a Dorito flavor that nobody else has. So maybe that is what you put and create on this naked Dorito chip. I was thinking about that. That could be a wild idea, or it could totally flunk and nobody freaking wants one. But
Never know. You never know unless you try.
never know unless you try. So salt and vinegar for Sean and barbecue for your boy.
It was very nice.
What if you put them together? Would it work?
I don't think so.
I go look it up. I don't have to ask Sean to do it. And then I could just look stuff up all the time and bother Sean.
Yeah.
Sean will be like, okay, are we going to actually talk about a podcast, or are we going to look at giant people from Iceland all day? So, I mean, that was my chip questions.
I feel so bad for anyone who watched the podcast yesterday and didn't expect my Darth Vader impression, because that was really loud.
Oh, yeah, or when you were like, I like sand. I was like, oh.
But I put a RIP headphone user.
You did, you did.
But
I feel bad because it came out at freaking 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting in a groove. We're getting the hang of it.
It took a long time to process and upload.
Yeah.
So that
Thick
was
file.
annoying.
Thick file.
It's because
Thick
it was
boy
an hour
file.
long.
Yeah. Oh, you know what the best like comeback for something is? Not really even a comeback, but a phrase that I use probably too much.
What?
Is when people ask a question and you say, I can neither confirm nor deny any of these statements without the approval of the secretary. And I think I got it from Mission Impossible. I think that's where it's from. But I just love using it, and it ticks people off. They're like, well, who's the secretary? Like, if they're actually mad. If they're not mad, they'll laugh. But who's the secretary? It's like, I don't know.
The Secretary of Defense. Good luck getting to him.
Good luck getting to him. Sucker! You've hacked the mainframe 3 times now.
That's right. Every single time I've had to either...
Not the Pentagon,
set
but
up
the
a video,
mainframe.
The mainframe. Every time I've had
The
to
eternal mainframe.
either set up... The first time I set up the recording and software and all that kind of stuff, I had to hack the mainframe. And then when I was uploading the first podcast, I had to hack it again.
Mac hack.
I had to
He had to
Mac
Mac hack the mainframe.
And then I had to hack it again last night in order
To
to
get it
upload
to...
because it took so long.
That was nuts. I feel so bad. I'm sorry, guys, that it took a long time. You got anything else?
Go check out my music.
Yeah, check out Sean's music on his channel. Pizza Face.
That's it.
Yeah, Pizza Face. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's also another funny one you did, the if bad things were music or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, bad experiences were
death
songs
and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like I'm very happy with that video. No one appreciates it nearly
I
as
thought it
much
was
as I
good.
do.
I thought it was good. Yeah, give Sean's videos a peep and see what you think.
Also, be aware, more music is coming. It won't just be Pizza Face forever.
Yep,
There
he's
will
working.
There will be music coming out.
He's working.
I'm a working man. Except I'm not.
Are you though?
No, I'm not getting paid. This is
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
So since it's the Revenge of the Fifth, I think we should. This is the only way to round out this podcast is just by ba ba da da ba da da ba 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 da 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 da
Oh no. Oh no. That's funny. Your harmonica sounds exactly like a random generator.
I know. I wonder. I know why. They're cousins.
They're cousins. We gotta go over and do maintenance on that generator machine.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, in other news, thank you for watching. Thank you for
Revenge of the Fifth.
Thank you
Happy
for
Cinco de
enjoying it.
Mayo.
Yeah, happy day of the 5th.
Day of the 5th of May. Oh, that was gross.